My hair's a frizzy mess. The lighting in here doesn't do me any favors. I can't sleep. Maybe that's why I'm doing grave shifts at Genpack, or I signed up for them. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm not. It's not too bad yet, but I can feel it. I'm worried I'll have a nervous meltdown tomorrow or the day after. Who knows, the day after that. If I get this way just from sitting here. I've been playing a lot of No Man's Sky. It's pretty fun. There's so many similarities between it and Spore. It's kind of funny. It's like an adult version of Spore. Like a grown-up, like an advanced... Spore's made for kids, right? I just feel so antsy. It's that same negative energy that happens in my head when I get anxious. I don't even have to feel necessarily anxious about anything, it just happens. It's been happening less since they fixed my meds, though. It was a few months ago. They fixed my meds after the issue with work at the school district. But not soon enough. I was going crazy, though. I was insane. Just paranoid out of my mind at that job. I'm hoping this one will be better. I just feel tired, I guess. Not physically tired, or else I'd actually go to sleep, but I'm tired of the in-between zone is always what bothers me. I'm tired of being on edge. Maybe that's why I like watching a lot of humor stuff, is because then I'm not on edge, like laughter makes everything better sort of deal. There's a speck in the middle of my screen. My eyes look really red, holy cow. There's a speck in the middle of my screen, and it's been bothering me. I was trying to watch Hulu, but I'm so anxious that I'm just getting furious at this small speck in the middle of my screen. I'm gonna take my phone apart and clean it, and not my phone, my case apart, because it's one of those ones that has like a whole bunch of different pieces, and clean it, and hopefully the speck comes off, because I swear I'm gonna go mad if that speck doesn't go away, which proves that I'm not in a good place right now. It just picks something to obsess over, especially when I don't have a goal. That's the problem, or one of the problems that I've talked about with my therapist, is that I need a goal. I need a goal to work towards, because otherwise it's not, my hyper focus isn't on my goal, it's on anything else. So it mostly gets bad when I'm bored. Maybe my goal should be, go do the dishes, Caleb. Ugh. I'm putting that off. It's not too bad yet. Mostly because I've been eating things that don't require dishes, like bagged salads, and I just make it in the bag and then eat it out of it. My brain's been definitely obsessing over things in the last week, worried about this job scenario. There's no reason to be worried about it. Everything's gone fine. I passed all the physical things, and I'm going to do the training on Wednesday, and I'm sure everything will be fine. I've got noise-canceling headphones to help isolate myself, so I won't get overwhelmed, and everything's going to work fine and they're going to pay me nicely. It's just, I don't know. It's in between. Just the fact that something is going to change. If it changes on the spot, I deal with it a lot better than if it changes in a while, because then I get to have time to freak out about it. I love the jumping in better, because then it's, it's like a cold lake. I hate, like whenever we go to a reservoir or a lake to have fun, I can't do slowly wade yourself in. That's one reason I have a hard time playing at the ocean anymore, unless it's warm, is because it's too cold. And then but if I jump in off the end of the dock, then it's fun. And yeah, it's cold. Not like dangerously cold, but we do have a few polar plunge fun things around here. I'd never do that, though. That would be too much. But, like, the water's cold, and I'd never be able to wade myself in slow. But jumping off the end of the docks always sounds like really fun. I was feeding Sadie sugar gliders while she was out, but she's back now. I don't know why I feel inadequate about it. Because, they ate, they had food, filled the water thing, But every single thing in my head just feels like I'm not good enough for it. Which isn't true. I am good enough for it. But on nights like tonight, I have a hard time believing that. It's been so hot. It's 117 degrees in St. George yesterday, which is a tiebreaker for the hottest day in Utah, which was the hottest recorded in Utah was 117 in 1985. So, it's really bad. Each year has just been getting worse and worse. The droughts. It's so bad they've had to put flashing signs everywhere telling people to please not do fires. They're so scared that something like Brian Head's going to happen again, which, context, unless you don't, because if you don't know about the Brian Head fire, you're not watching this anyway, because it's just me and, I think Mom. But, Brian had a few, our mountain had a few fires, because a few very big fires, because a guy, you could see the smoke for miles and miles. A guy burned some weeds illegally, just took a flamethrower to some weeds, which is an awful idea. Here, that will definitely get you in trouble. Caused millions in damage. The mountain burned for 4 months. It was so bad. I remember not being able to go outside because the air was hurting my lungs. Eventually they got it under control enough that it stopped, but for 1 month in the summer, would have been 2017, it hurt. Seems like yesterday, but that's 4 years ago now. I don't know why I feel so unsettled. And then I'm getting unsettled and anxious about how I'm feeling unsettled and anxious, and it just builds up. I've told people before that the anxiety in my head, at least, is it's like a Shepherd tone, which is a tone that it messes with your head, and you think it's constantly rising forever and ever and ever. But it doesn't. It's how the tones oscillate around each other. So it doesn't actually it's not like it's actually going up forever, but it seems like that. And so it puts you on edge because your brain's expecting it to go higher. Oh, and then it won't go any higher, and then it'll stop. But it doesn't. It just keeps going. And that's kind of how I feel things are sometimes. And it's really hard to not freak out right now, which is one reason I like to record when I'm freaking out, is because it helps me focus more, I guess. But we've got this nice picture of the Citadel above our bed from Mass Effect. That's kind of fun. It was I put it on the wedding registry because I wanted something nice above the bed, not just an empty wall. And then Alton, of course, I got the Normandy right here. Got that at FanX. And then Alton got me that as a birthday present after our 1 year, 1 year after we'd met each other, and a month, because my birthday was a month after we met each other. He got me that, which is Garrus. And so this is our Mass Effect wall, I guess. I've got it on this wall too. I've got lots of poster things. But I don't know. I like the posters. I get in this weird state though when I'm anxious, and I'm like not allowed to like things, which sounds stupid. Everyone should be allowed to just like something. Everyone should be fine and, have something they enjoy, and that's okay. But for some reason, my brain goes into this thing where it's like, everything sucks and is meaningless, and you can't like anything because it's stupid and it's pointless. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, why do you keep saying that? Because that's not true. But Alton and I went to Panda today. I say we're only going to eat out once a week, and then that never happens. I mean, he eats out more because he takes stuff to work, but that's fine. That's with his Griffles money. I tell him he has to do it with his Griffles money, but we're down a bit right now. That's one reason I want to get this job, is because I want to finally be able to pay something off. Because the last few months we haven't been able to do anything. With the help of this, I'm hoping that I'll finally be able to get the house off. Who knows? If we keep our current budget, but I'm working in addition to Alton, and we're both working, I probably could pay it off by the end of the year. Because if I start in July, that's halfway through the year. Or, well, it's a little less than halfway, but if I make 1,000, I don't know how much I'll make. It's full-time. I'll have to think about that. My brain's too tired. It's about $20 an hour right now, but I won't be making that for the whole year, I don't think, because it's a hiring incentive. So who knows how long they'll have the fact that they need stuff for seasonal stuff on, but I think I'd be able to pay off the house by the end of I'd say the house has been paid off by now. It's just, I expand the loan with my dad to buy the Subaru and to buy building materials to finish this room, and now it's not. So I think we still got a little over 6,000 on the loan, if I remember, from Dad. And so, which is good, when you put it in perspective. But, it doesn't help, because my brain just says I'm doing everything wrong, which I'm not. I'm not doing everything wrong. But it feels that way in my head for some reason. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to get it paid off by the end of the year. That would be great, But of course, in addition to that, what I've also done is I've put, how do I say this? So I've put made a list of incentives for me to keep a job because I have a hard time. What'll happen is I'll get bored at the door and not able to go, or not bored, like I meant barred at the door, but I'm not barred at the door, obviously. But like I can't go and I can't leave the house because I'm freaking out that something will happen. And sometimes I can get over it and sometimes I can't because that happens all the time, to varying degrees. But I'm hoping a positive incentive every once in a while will help. So I put a few of the things I've been wanting for a while but I don't get because money issues. I've been putting them on a list, and if I do a certain amount of these things, then I get the rest of the objective, right? Or I get the reward for doing the objective. It's like 2 weeks I get to have a sushi dinner with Alton, which 2 weeks is a teller. 4 months will be the real teller. If I make, or not 4 months, well, 4 months for sure, but like 4 weeks. Usually, if it's a job I absolutely can't stand, I'll be out. I'll be out before the month's out, which has only ever happened with one other job, so I don't even put it on anything because it was so bad. It wasn't even a bad company or anything. It was Vivint. I just couldn't. The job was impossible for me to do mentally. My mental health, my mental situation is not good enough to deal with that. It's like if we put, no offense to my sister, it's like if you put my dyslexic sister, at a job where she's teaching English to like college students. It's not something you can do. Obviously, that's like a way more severe scenario, but there's people who can't do things, and I discovered that's something I can't do, which should have been obvious, but it wasn't to me until I got in there. Because I love tech support. I love doing that, but over the phone, oh, that was just, it was bad. It was so bad. Eyes itchy. But yeah, I guess I'm just sitting here waiting for something. Go clean stuff, but I don't have the physical energy to clean stuff because I'm tired. I have an energy drink I could do, but then I feel like I'm just beating my body up. And honestly, I can still fall asleep with caffeine anyway. Sometimes, depending on how I am, drinking caffeine, or not even caffeine, but enjoying a drink, the caffeine gives me comfort in a weird way. It makes me feel more like I'm able to handle the situation, and because of that, that will actually ease my anxiety enough to let me fall asleep in severe situations, which is weird. A lot of it also has to do that I'm in a better place because I had one of my favorite drinks, like a Mountain Dew, because I like Mountain Dew, and it puts me in a better place, and then I can sleep. So a lot of the time that happens. But I've got a full stomach, and my sugar needs are taken care of because it was Panda. Got lots of sweet sauces and everything, and so I don't feel like I want anything to eat. I ate a lot of Panda, so like my stomach's full. I should be wanting to food coma, but that's just not happening. It's just not. I'm just grr. I don't know why. It's not really a way to describe it. It's not mad, it's not sad, and it's not nervous. It's somewhere in between all three, and it's just like grr. But I guess I'll just have to find a way to deal with it. Usually, I mean, watching TV makes it worse, but it distracts me sometimes. So what I'll usually do is actually, I like to play video games. And I may not feel this way, but I've kind of video gamed out because I've already been dealing with it by playing video games pretty much all day. I think I played video games for like 6 to 8 hours today. It was bad. I mean, I did get stuff done today, but like, that's way more than I usually play, and my brain's just fried. So I don't know what to do. I don't have any energy to do things except this negative energy that's just gnawing at the back of my skull. So I guess I'll just sit here. It's like deal with it like a headache, you know. When you don't have ibuprofen, you just try and ignore it, but then it's like right there anyway. So it's impossible to.